So I'm 60% of the way through KPI right now, so I'm still on the journey. And I wish I'd discovered this course a lot earlier. So let me tell you what I do. I'm co-CEO of Reddington. Reddington advises large pension funds around the world. It used to be in the UK. We advise about £230 billion in assets under consulting. And we do three things. We design, we develop, and we deliver investment strategies for those pension funds. And if you didn't know it, most pension funds are in real trouble right now. We're all living longer. That's a good thing. But if you're a final salary pension fund and you promise to pay someone from the age of 65 until they die, and suddenly they're living a lot longer, that's a big issue. In fact, on the plane this morning, there was an article that says we're going to be living to 100. Have we thought about the implications of living to 100? The problem is that many pension funds are in big, big trouble. And so what we do is we repair the deficit and improve member security. But what the KPI course has taught me is that we can have so much more expansive view of what we can do. And so our purpose right now, our purpose away from money, is actually to change people's financial futures. Who here feels confident about their financial future? Okay, a handful of you. I mean, if you're lucky and you're in a final salary pension scheme, you're pretty safe unless the company you work for or the company you work for goes bust. But for a lot of people, the whole idea of planning and saving and growing and protecting your wealth is a challenge. So as a result of the KPI program, 5 years, 6 years into our business, I've been able to reverse engineer a whole load of the 5 Ps to help us grow to the next level. And so why was I in Denver? Well, it's pretty basic, actually. I got a call. This is my first business trip with Reddington to the US. And guess what they did? They looked me up on Google. Now, why could they find me on Google? Well, guess what? For hashtag pensions, I'm the most influential person for pensions, for hashtag pensions. Check it out. I've got 5,000 followers. I was voted 18th most influential investment consultant in the world. Now, that didn't happen by accident. It happened as a result of a very well thought out process. And the challenge that we have within Reddington at the moment is that we've grown in the last 7 years from just 2 people operating out of my bedroom, out of my business partner's attic. We now have 2 companies, but within Reddington, there are now 54 people. And in fact, many of them are going through the KPI process themselves. They're having to learn how to pitch. They're not necessarily writing books, but they're writing blogs. Our graduate, 22-year-old graduate, wrote his first blog, and he got picked up by the press. And he was in the, well, not the local press, but the trade press. We've got partnerships. We're in live partnership discussions with people like Man GLG, with law firms like Pinson Masons, with custodians like BNY Mellon. My business partner just got a call from a pension fund, large pension fund in the Netherlands that needs our help. We've been approached by people in Singapore and the Middle East who want to license our 7-step framework. I know 8 is the new... 7 is no longer cool, so I need to figure out an 8th step, but I'm sure I can find one. But yeah, so actually the whole process of KPI has given me actually a roadmap to share with my colleagues and take it forward. And what's really exciting is as a result of meeting Mike Harris in November, which is the first one of the 5 Ps, the pitch, it forced me to sit down and write our 100-year vision for our company. And we were talking about CSR earlier, and Penny was talking about the stuff that she's doing. And the big challenge that we have here in the UK and across the globe is a lack of financial education. And so at that moment, I'm going to lob a grenade over to my colleague and graduate, Freddie Ewer, at the back, who has set up an awesome initiative, which is part of our vision that we want to transfer financial education. So, Freddie, the ball's yours.
What I wanted to talk about briefly is Red Start, our financial literacy and entrepreneurship mentoring program. And Rob set myself and my colleague Johnny a mission, and that mission is to provide a financial literacy and entrepreneurship education to 20 million people by 2020. Or, sorry, I should say 5 million people by 2020 and 20 million people in the long run. In order to do that, we recognize that we need partner organizations, but first of all, we need a fantastic financial literacy syllabus. So we've created that within Reddington, and we've run 2 financial literacy and entrepreneurship education days so far, and we're looking to roll that out across partner organizations and in tandem with companies that we work for in our more standardized business function. So if anyone would like to help us out or get involved, we're very keen to talk to you, and please do get in touch. Thanks, Rob.
Rob, is this your work outfit? What's the story here?
Okay, so this is the perfect example of profile. And in fact, 6 months ago, I did an awesome challenge. But let me go back a bit. So I raised money for 2 charities. One of those is the Royal Marines, and I'm part of this thing called Commando Spirit. And the idea is taking, quote-unquote, high-flying business people outside of their comfort zone to raise serious amounts of money for charity. So this challenge was to abseil off the Shard. So on the 3rd of September last year, me and a couple of famous people got the opportunity to abseil off Europe's highest building, 1,000 feet. That's the same height as a small airplane. I've got to say, that is the most frightening experience you will ever have. And then 25 minutes later, when you're at the bottom, you feel like you're the king of the world. I cannot give you a better example of grounding and managing your fear. But the bigger challenge was to raise £25,000 for charity. And I must have written 4 or 5 blogs, written thousands of emails, thousands of tweets and Facebooks, personally asked lots of people, and I got well over 370 people donate. So that's an average donation of £65. So it wasn't that I had one person come along and say, hey, Rob, here's £1,000. That sounds like an amazing thing. That was almost 400 different people. Can you imagine going out and trying to get 400 people to donate? And I'm sure all of you have run a 10K run or a half marathon or a triathlon or gone to Brighton. But for me, trying to get almost 400 people to donate was a much bigger challenge. And again, it highlights the principles of KPI were the reason that I was able to raise £25,000 for an awesome charity.